Did you really think you could just walk off with that? But so, I imagine some sort of old pre-collapse colony ship thinking they've got a claim here. We're being more than generous by offering the use of our engineering team to help install it. I really hope so. Look, I like your persistence. It definitely counts for something. But let's not push it, okay? That's what I get for trying to be nice, eh? I'm trying to be reasonable here. Excuse me? Aren't you a little old to be a delivery boy? No, that's not any more true than it was a minute ago. You did good. Those colonists couldn't be happier. And we're saving loads on payroll. You know what? That does make sense. Oh, amazing! I mean, that is quite an unfortunate tragedy. You don't know what you're talking about. Lawyers, am I right? Anyway, enjoy and have a good day. No, of course not. There's several more. We're just the ones who show up day to day. We need to nip this in the bud and take care of it before the tourists catch on and cause a scene. And honestly, what's one less debtor? Go on and tell her she can leave on the next luxury liner out of here. If it's not important, bring it up with Kiwi. Grow up. Stop. I don't want to hear it. I'm not suggesting anything. Other than it would make our lives so much easier if that ship ceased existing. Make of that what you will. I got my orders, but maybe we can work something out. It's not? Well, that's bonza. What a relief. Thank you for taking care of the problem. However, you managed it. I see what you're saying. Don't worry. That makes a lot of sense, now that I think about it. I didn't say that specifically. This would be a mutual contract. For room and board in exchange for services rendered. Don't care how you procure them, just make sure to bring them here with you before we can consider this a done deal. I hope there's a way to work this out. I believe our business here has concluded. But you're right, no one's going to buy aliens. Remind me to fire the marketing team. I'm not trying to be a hard ass. I just can't go any lower. Right, assuming they agree to the terms. I've got a list of resources you'll need to gather and bring back so we can support the new arrivals. What do you think you're doing? We operate outside of the Free Stars only, you see, partially because we don't want anyone else meddling in our affairs. As far as I'm concerned, we did those people a favour. Now they can settle on whatever empty planet they want and not be a bother to our guests or our bottom line. You might be right. Oh, it was a deal worked out between the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies that governs the colonization of distant worlds. Pick that back. And no one minds, because half the politicians and other big shots love vacationing here. It works for everyone. I believe this outcome will be best. I wasn't looking forward to hosting a bunch of needy colonists. Help! Murder! Enough already. But it's a wonder that old ship made it all the way here in such a relatively short time. Must have really been pushing themselves. Thanks for the offer, but my answer is still no. Too much risk involved, and if it goes wrong, then the problem can quickly get out of hand. Love it, Seema. Done. Balam, I want you in charge of the press release. Did that make you feel like a big, strong man? I'm still willing to talk. So, as much as I appreciate your feedback, it's not in the best interest of the Paradiso Group to take it into account. An engineer friend of mine told me once that the reactors on those old ships have a tendency to self-destruct if they overload. Of course, their engineers must have taken great care not to push it too far. It's all just talk. Doesn't change anything. Right. On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we appreciate your help. Sure, take your time. Just think about it somewhere else, please. I've got my own business to attend to. It probably won't hurt to let her go on her way. Maybe we can work something out. I'm trying to figure out how to help you. All right. Convince me. It's just the same old fruits brought over from Earth ages ago, but we get nearly 10 times a market for them. I'm going to go with no on this one, and I'll tell you why. As much as I appreciate you showing some initiative, we'll need to discuss this with the present board members and come up with a plan to our liking. So, an eyesore of a ship is gone. Amazing how these things have a way of sorting themselves out, eh? I guess no one will ever know what happened to it. Right. Nice words, but they don't change anything. Help! Someone's being attacked! Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. Something tells me that's not going to work. Bonza! That means we got them right where we want them. I'm sorry, but you're going to need to be the one to break the news to them that they need to make a compromise or leave. Nobody wants that. Pickpocket! Stop! The others spend their time lazing on the beach, gallivanting off-world. I'm surprised you're still worried about that. You and I seem to have different ideas about what seems reasonable or not. And we'd rather not draw attention to it. As I've mentioned, it could be bad for business. We'd much rather settle this independently. Ah, we're being direct then. Good on you. So, what do you know about this dodgy ship I'm hearing all about?
We, the Paradiso Group, bought the rights to this planet years ago with the intent of turning it into the biggest and best resort in the universe. To that end, I'd say we've succeeded. Sorry, I've got orders, you know.
I'll take that, thank you. Well, like one person being upset will shift the balance? I don't think so.
Ah, so it's a colony ship of sorts. Wonderful. That complicates things a bit. What? No, that's not true. I haven't agreed to anything yet. Yeah, I hope so.
Ah, yes, the aliens. Marketing still thinks that's the way to go if we can't resolve this. Could drum up business. I'm not convinced. What do you think?
Someone do something!
Ah, good on you. You want to see a man named Benny St. James over at Hope Tech. That's a good one.
I don't see how. You know how it is.
I'm the one you've got to deal with, like it or not.
And I believe our arrangement with the colonists will work out in the long run.
What do you think you're doing?
I suppose I wouldn't mind that reputation spreading.
You're lucky I'm not like the other board members, lazing about the beaches without a care in the universe. And you've made your decision? We can help them resettle here and work off their debt, or we can outfit their ship with a grav drive at your own personal expense.
I heard you the first time and didn't care then either.
Then I'm the one stuck with all this debt I accrued and no way of making that money back. Sorry, no deal.
Too bad. No, that's okay. I think I got it.
If you're serious about this, you'll need to come back when you've got the credits. And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain?
I assume there's a captain?
Well, they did sign contracts, but I see your point.
And on a completely unrelated note, the Paradiso Group does not condone violence or property destruction of any kind.
What are you doing?
That leaves the only other party in this negotiation. You.
Well, I sense we're done here for now. Go tell her she's free to leave on the next luxury liner out of here. I'll make the arrangements.
I'd like to keep this civil.
Remember, this is a one-time only deal. I'm not going to go on releasing everyone from their contracts.
Guess we're tabling it for now. Let's circle back around ASAP, though. I don't really care too much about what you think of me. I have a business to run.
You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens!
You really think my answer's going to change if you ask again?
Sorry, there's no guarantee that she will.
You think I'm a pushover? Nice words, but they don't change anything. I really doubt it.
You're kind of pathetic, aren't you? Okay, that's pretty good. Are we talking or not?
I'd like to think so.
We'll need to improve our lodging and infrastructure, plus account for future projects to support an increased population. Just be sure not to tell everyone about this. This is a one-time deal, got it? Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here. I also get access to our state-of-the-art facilities and other resort features in the off-season for a very generous discount.
Interesting. So you're telling me she wants out of a contract she signed, and for what? What do we get out of it?
No, I think not.
I hear you. You did help us come to an amicable solution. Then it'll be up to her to change her attitude or face consequences.
I have no idea, because I'm not suggesting anything of the sort. We don't want to compete with Neon. Bayou's ruthless. He'll do anything he can to eliminate the competition. We don't need that kind of trouble.
Of course, because you're sensible, like me.
I'll be honest, I was beginning to think you were one of those anti-business types. No way. It's my ass if something goes wrong here.
You know what? You're wasting my time.
In addition, I'd like to extend to you unlimited use of our resort. Well, there are some limits, of course, but you know how it is. Despicable? Hardly. Just a backup plan in case we can't get them to leave.
I really hope so.
Right, there you go then. Good chat. Sorry, you've got to go. I only call on Bennu for important jobs, so I hope you're treating him well.
You don't scare me. Remember, not a word to the other colonists of the deal we made for Genevieve. Whatever her name was. You know as well as I do that if I caved to everyone who buttered me up like this, I wouldn't be where I am today.
The way I see it, you need what I'm offering more than I need what you're paying. That's no excuse for threatening people. They settle here, it'll be under our conditions, not theirs. Sorry. Believe it or not, these things come at a considerable cost to us. So all we ask is that they work to repay us. and they can go wherever they want. Of course, any sum I give you will be nothing compared to what it would have cost to let the situation linger.
I don't think so. We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? You're starting to make a lot of sense.
A custom grav drive can't come cheap, and I assume they have neither the monetary means nor the connections to get a hold of that kind of technology.
Look, I'd like to help, but as such, no other leisure enterprises may operate on the planet without renting land from us. But as you can see, none can afford such a deal.
What? Is that supposed to be funny or something?
No, it's not that simple.
Of course, there's no telling how long this arrangement will last, given the substantial costs we'd need to take on in order to accommodate them here, including their continued room and board.
I really hope so.
He's the best in the business. If anyone can retrofit a 200-year-old ship with a modern grav drive, it'd be him. It's not our responsibility to bear the brunt of that cost.
Oh my God! For the sake of everyone's time, if you come back to me asking about forgiving anyone else's debt, the answer is a hard no.
Hey, give that back!
I like the sound of it already. Let's hear it.
Why? Because we let them settle here in the facilities we retrofitted for them. They get room and board, protection, and whatever supplies they need.
Huh. You're giving me ideas on how to drum up business. Themed costume parties. People love them.
It's your choice. I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
I think you may be right. I'll make some time for you, but keep it quick, yeah? Don't get ahead of yourself. Go on now, enjoy Paradiso. Someone help me! Makes things easier. We don't pay any taxes, we don't need to follow their laws. All the benefits, none of the drawbacks.
And there's not a thing you can do about it.
Good day. Come on, mate. Loads more interesting things to do outside. No need to mill about in here.
Someone would likely have to override the safety systems in the reactor computer. But who would do such a thing?
You know what? You might be... Wait, no. What am I saying? Hey, give that back! Well, I am very reasonable, aren't I?
No. Much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live, rather than leave it to chance.
Oh, I don't see how. Oh, it's just business, pal. Stop trying to confuse me.
It would be bad if those feelings got on. I'm just doing my job, you know. I'm sure you're on the up and up.
I doubt more talk is going to change my mind. Yeah, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking before.
True. It would reflect poorly on us. So tell me, what's the actual deal with this massive eyesore of a ship, besides scaring people away? Well, they don't. And that ship's presence is bad for business. We need it to bugger off ASAP.
Not quite. We just don't answer to the Freestar Collective or the United Colonies. That's what I'm hoping.
I'm not trying to make your life difficult, you know. Just what I thought. You don't have enough to cover a debt.
Hey, that isn't yours. That being said, I think there's a middle ground. Maybe build up the beachfront at a boardwalk amusement park. I've had this idea to build artificial hot springs, that sort of thing.
You think that means you can push me around? Not likely. And you were already compensated for that, I'm sure.
Hello? I didn't realise Kiwi was letting people in here.
I'm sure you realise how generous our offer is, lending our engineers to help your friends. It's best not to dwell on it, though. On the bright side, our issue seems to be solved.
But we did let much of our staff go, and the colonists are now working to pay off their debt, so I imagine we'll be saving loads of credits.
If we do this for one person, and word gets around that we are overly generous, then more people are going to want the same.
Starting to think you're right.
Well, that's something. It's going to take some work to make room for our new colonist guests. You'd be surprised what people fall for. Locally sourced island fruit essences, for instance. You know what? I may be starting to like you. I'm all out of favours. So let that inform you before you ask for another.
Not sure yet. Earnings reports haven't come in.
Sarcasm isn't nearly as powerful a tool as some think it is.
Don't get bent out of shape. It can't hurt to at least consider it. I do have a rather stellar reputation to maintain, after all. Good on you for negotiating that deal for us. You're wasting my time. Help! I'm being attacked!
Maybe we can still work something out. No. Even if they listen to you, how do you think that will play out for you?
Don't try that again.
We run a premier resort getaway here. We can't have our guests concocting stories about some budgy old ship hanging around up there.
Glad those colonists buggered off, eh? Good on you for getting that eyesore of a ship out of our orbit.
I am. And you must be the diplomat Giro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke.
We? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I believe there was a problem, then I spoke with you, and now there isn't a problem, and that's all.
I'd say you're full of it and might have been watching too many movies. Now, instead of wasting my time, want to tell me what it really is? There's nothing to talk about. I've already made myself clear.
I don't get it. Absurd or not, that's our official stance. I make the decisions that are best for our entire group. You don't. You may think so, but I don't.
I try to be. No, they all signed contracts to be here and work. Any of them were free to stay aboard their ship or find other means to leave.
You're very persuasive. Has anyone ever told you that? No worries, mate, but my time is valuable.
We'll coordinate our engineering team with his when you return, though you may have to help the Constance engineers prepare for it on their end. Good luck. But this may save the resort on operating costs in the long term, as we'd be able to let go of some of our current paid staff.
Ooh, do you feel better now?
First it's one person, then another. I don't want to set a precedent here.
Tell you what, you threaten me, now you get nothing.
I won't even ask how you did it. The important thing is you got the job done.
Yes, so you said already. Okay, you've made your point.
Okay, you make a convincing argument. Well, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't do anything abjectly terrible. Her presence is still a liability.
Didn't I already say no the last time you said please? I can see that.
People are hardy. They'll survive.
Businesses, on the other hand, might not.
Good. Now maybe we can work this out like reasonable people.
I told you, I'm thinking about it. I just need time to take everything into account.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. We may be outside the settled systems, but that child as official as can be.
All right. I'm willing to hear you out.
You've heard our proposals. We can help them resettle here and work off their debt, or we can outfit their ship with a grav drive at your own personal expense. Which one would you like to pursue?
I'm still listening.
And tell them what? That you blew up an entire colony ship and killed hundreds of people?
This isn't getting us anywhere.
And that's within your right. But as the CEO of Paradiso Group, I'm the one who has to make and approve decisions around here, not you. Doesn't bother me, though. Less cooks in the kitchen means I get to make all the big decisions around here. Seems to be working out for us just fine.
I'm thinking about it.
Yes, colony ship does have a bit of ring to it. Tell me more about them, will you? They'd be hard-pressed to defend their claim in any courts. Our charter goes back years. It was registered with both the UC and Free Star Collective, per the Centaurus Proclamation.
I think...
No. Stop it. You're trying to confuse me. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here.
Hadn't thought of that. I might make more money off of her than otherwise.
That doesn't mean I'm a pushover.
Maybe so.
Just don't let word spread. This is a one-time only deal.
That's mine! Give it back!
Whoa! Did you see those bloody fireworks way up in the sky? The tourists think we set him off, but I don't know where they came from.
Blom's right.
But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there causing all sorts of problems for our resort.
I understand. I know what you're trying to do. It isn't going to work.
As it is, we've had to reroute our luxury liners round the other side of the planet on entry so no one sees it. It's bad for business.
I can see that. Hold on. You're trying to confuse me, aren't you?
Sorry, but I can't. Right, back to work. I hope you appreciate how generous our offer is to let them live among us. Imagine the landscaping disasters they might come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet in our brochures.
You might be right. Don't mistake being reasonable for being a pushover.
I really doubt it. Between you and me, it's rather toothless when it comes to how we operate, but we're able to use the laws of the UC and the FC to our advantage in cases like this, when outsiders might try to claim our land.
I'm
not an unreasonable person, you know.